Hello, 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 hello.
To my mic, like, how does this just change? Like,
We can hear you.
no, yeah, it's picking it up there. It's not picking it up on the YouTube. See, I use this right here. This is how I do YouTube. I do the OBS, and for some reason the mic just wasn't picking up, and so you have to go into the actual settings and the properties there, and it kicked to default instead of my HyperX one that I use. But what's crazy to me is if I never change it, like, how does it? Why does it just randomly change? Craziness. All right, guys. Man, what a day. What a day we got. So, well, let's take a look at some things. I think now we're all set up, so we're good to go. Got some people trying to pile on in. I'm gonna just rearrange how I do this layout so I don't end up accidentally getting off of TikTok, but I want to see all of y'all's comments. Guys, I'm a little out of place today. We had a really late night last night um, dealing with TradeVision, man. It was so important to me to really get this guy up and going because I want my mentor people to be able to test it. So I'm actually going to send a text just reminding Alex that he is go ahead clear to give it to you guys once he gets up. 1 second. Tell him. So it'll be available only to the VIP and mentor group for today because they're going to help me beta test. It's kind of the perk of being in that group, right? So, but guys, let's go through. I know we got a few people coming in, and I'm going to go ahead and look at the markets, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about TradeVision. We're going to use a little bit of a double thing going on here, right? So we have the AI session that goes, and Neo's giving out his calls and his entries and logic and everything. And we've been working our butts off on the NEO TradeVision, right? And so we've been kind of playing with that this morning. Guys, he actually can see all the feeds now, the data, everything, right? So you don't have to feed him the information. If he doesn't know something, he just might ask you to elaborate or to give him something, but most of the time he's, as far as the way that I teach all the logic indicators, basic variables of trading, he's going to know that stuff, right? So um, it was a very long day. We spent probably 14 hours, I think 16 hours, I don't even know, just beating him up and coding and trying to get him to receive the data. And so we finally got him to receive it, we finally got him to interpret it, and man, it's just been so awesome. So I'm going to go through some of the TA within there, and then we have 10 minutes before open. Um, you don't usually want to trade much that first 15 minutes, anyways, and so I wouldn't recommend, swinging for any kind of crazy fences at that point. But, what you can do, is we'll go through the TA, and then when we get through the TA, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little introductions with Neo, TradeVision, kind of go show you the potential of what this guy can do. So it's pretty freaking cool. We do have a little fine tuning before we go full launch, but guys, I'm telling you, the biggest hurdle was yesterday, and we got through it. So it's all a go. So we'll pretty highly likely have this guy live for everybody that wants to use him as soon as next week. So when we go live, guys, in this community, we've always been very MNQ, NQ, all that. When we go live, we're gonna actually have that ability to, um, have you look at multiple pairs, right, or multiple symbols. It doesn't matter if it's crypto options. There's going to be some different variations that you guys can use with them. We want to add in things like oil, ES, like all that. So that way, if you're in here in the live in the session and you're kind of hanging out in the group, right, but you want to trade your own thing while you're on mute, you could sit there and chat with Neo, right, in the TradeVision. You can do your own thing. We've built in some stuff with strategies. I still want to modify a little bit, but he's coming around where he understands scalping, long range plays. Earlier, we asked him his advice. Do you think I should take a long range play, or do you think the market conditions present scalping as a better option? And he gave us that advice. So he does have multiple personalities. He's a little bipolar over here. We have uncensored, sarcastic, funny, beginner, professional, and friendly. We just added beginner last night. Now that we have them all dialed in, if you're new and you don't know where to start, guys, you can go to beginner, and he's going to walk you through that beginner phase. So the beauty is, guys, he is fully AI. So you can ask him whatever you want, and he's going to tell you. So I can even come on here and say, hey, Neo, I'm going through your personalities. Can you give me an example of beginner? Why would I choose beginner?
You would choose the beginner personality when you are first learning the mechanics of the market and need concepts broken down into simple, relatable language without being overwhelmed by advanced technical jargon. It provides patient, step-by-step guidance that uses everyday analogies, like comparing market trends to traffic or sports, to help you visualize price movement. For example, instead of immediately diving into complex order flow or liquidity dynamics, the beginner personality will explain why we wait for specific confirmations by comparing it to waiting for a green light before entering an intersection. It's designed to build your confidence and focus on foundational discipline, ensuring you prioritize learning how to avoid bad trades before you start worrying about maximizing profits.
So he's going to explain what each one is there for, right? And you guys, the beauty of any of them, but especially for anybody who's beginner, right? You can ask him anything, right? If you like he just mentioned liquidity, right? You can say, oh, that makes sense. Can I ask you questions along the way? Like you just mentioned liquidity dynamics. I'm not really sure what that means. You can send that over and...
Liquidity dynamics refer to the market's search for areas where large clusters of stop-loss orders or pending orders are located, which act as magnets for price. In simple terms, price often moves toward these levels to fill those orders, providing the necessary fuel for the market to continue its move or reverse. For example, when price sweeps below a recent low like the prior day low, it is often hunting for the liquidity sitting just beneath it to trigger a reaction. I am here to clarify these concepts. Feel free to ask about any term, and I will break it down into actionable, professional context for your trading.
Yeah, and so again, guys, he's going to break everything down for you. So if you have questions, it's just awesome. He has a lot of knowledge within that. The other exciting thing, like I said, is not only are we going to allow multiple symbols and things, but guys, we're going to open this to crypto. So you're going to be able to, check on your XRP, your Bitcoin, all of you guys, especially those of you in TikTok who like to come in to the lives and say, hey, what do you think about, Bitcoin, or what do you think about XRP, or what do you think about Tesla or Microsoft, right? You can just ask Neo and he's going to tell you, right, exactly what he thinks about it. Those in the mentor group, you guys see this push. Remember I was telling you that? They always do this crap, man. They kill zone it and then they pre-market it. So we'll see how how it goes. But guys, we worked our butts off last night because we were determined to get this thing done operational for this morning, so that way all the mentor people can do this today, because if they can help me beta test it and give me the old thumbs up, right, that we're good and there's no issues with him, right, we can bring this thing out next week, guys. People that are out there, and many of you guys in the community, I talked to almost all of you. At times we run into consistency issues, or we're breaking things, or discipline, emotions, whatever you need, right? And he's going to be able to check all those boxes for you. So for this session, guys, I'm going to put him on professional just to keep it straight to the logic. If you want it just all about the numbers, logic, business, things like that, right? Professional's a good one. Funny's it's kind of funny. He had a couple of good jokes that he cracked earlier. And then sarcasm, if you got a little bit of a hurt feeling card, you might want to be careful, because sarcasm will tear you up, man. He's pretty funny. Personally, I like uncensored, because uncensored is like talking to a buddy, right? He's going to cheer you on and be your biggest fan when you're going, but if you say something way out of bounds, man, he's not going to hesitate to tell you need to shut the hell up and get back on track, right? So every night, if you like that kind of firm hand, right, uncensored is a good one to go with on that. And so But once we release that, guys, play around with that. It's going to be really, really cool. So, but we can come in, you know, if I can talk to him about anything, guys. You want to talk to him about, doesn't matter. So let's just tell him, you know, hey, I'm just sitting down in my charts. I know US Open is coming up here pretty quick. Do you think I should take a scalping approach or a long-term play approach? I'm thinking about waiting until, oh, the microphone at times is quick and I'm a little away from mine, but if it does stop on you, that's why we have the text here. You can just finish off where you let off, right? I'm waiting for my setup here, but I do have US market open that I have a little bit of concerns about. But once the open goes, can I ask you a little bit later if you think a better option is scalping today, or should I take long plays? Is that something you can help me with?
I can certainly help you evaluate the best approach once the market opens and the initial volatility subsides. We will analyze the immediate price progression, structural breaks, and timeframe alignment to determine whether the market environment favors high-frequency scalping or sustained directional plays. For now, continue to monitor how price reacts at the current bearish order block and whether it can reclaim the 1-minute EMA 200, as these structural signals will dictate our strategy. Feel free to reach out once the session is underway, and we will assess the setup based on the real-time data then.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you a few other things, guys, but let's get through a couple of things on the TA. So a few things that are really, really important. Now, there's a difference on the NQ and MNQ slightly that we identified. I do chart the MNQ. And so if you were to do the MNQ, it tends to be about right about there would be our low. So this is going to be an interesting one. I'm actually going to plot two lines just to see which one I see is more viable, right, for the day. And so I'm going to just make this one teal like that. I'm going to put OK on there. I'm going to make that one lower. So this one we didn't quite break if you're charting MNQ, right, because we do have that low touch right there. But if you look, there's also another way to do it, and that was on NQ. If you cut through slightly on these wicks and you come up and touch all points, right, which will give you the touch there, all these touches here, and that, and barely cut a wick. You know, we got to see which one the market's going to respect, right? And so I'm not opposed to putting both for right now, and we'll see which one it respects. Currently, if we are taking this one, you know, we broke it, guys. We should be dumping. Now, if we are looking more on this one, on that MNQ, you know, with us kind of giving this little falling channel, if we breach back above into there, it's going to jump pretty hard. I have a little suspicion that we might get some pull today, guys, and we'll see how this plays with the open. So be really careful on your longs, because it's going to be a little bit of a tougher Friday, right? Because I'm okay with taking longs now because we have a good distance from our high. I mean, we got a good 500 points or so to move. And so I'm fine taking longs, but I need to be cautious because, you know, we did have a push. We had a bearish structure, double top pull. We have a lot of resistance within that. That was also our neckline. Came up, we rejected it, and we dropped. So we now have a bearish structure here, and we have a bearish structure here. As long as we stay below this neckline, which is that 248, it's going to dump, guys, pretty hard. And so I would not even entertain a long until I can get above like 300, somewhere in there, and then kind of hold that pressure. Everything else to me is going to be probably pretty biased short, right? And I know that can be tricky as well because as we're coming down, right, we do have these prior lows that we did bounce. So, you know, we might get a little bit of a ranging action going on, but at the end of the day, if we come down into that 29077 area, I want to be careful going short. And as we approach that 48, I want to be careful going long, right? If we breach the 48, I am not taking shorts or shorting anything until we get up to like here. And if we do breach this low, right, I'm not looking to long probably anything all day. So because we can go pretty freaking low. So, you know, the tricky part about it from an economic standpoint is most all the news has been fairly bearish, right? We have bearish CPI, we had bearish PPI. Like, we should not be where we are. There's a little suspicion in me that we are where we are because of the hopes and all the stuff of the summit and the, you know, the stuff that was going on with the China meeting, right? And so with that now kind of coming towards its end, right? And Trump and all the CEOs heading back, the market tends to react on that as like a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing, right? And so we could end up in that kind of situation, right? So you just got to be a little careful. Fridays are not the day to swing for the fence. Keep your volume a little low. If you get a good couple $100 and you're happy with that, just study, right? We'll play with TradeVision for a little bit. I'm gonna keep the open session open till 11. I do plan on doing the development session because I do want to keep playing with TradeVision, and I want to give people in the development session an opportunity to play with them as well. So I might even see if I might talk to Alex and see if for that particular session, right? Maybe we can give you guys that temporary access as well. So we'll look at that. So a lot of plans today, guys. So we'll just kind of go back into the charts here, see what we're doing. It looks like we're just dancing right now, back and forth on this. So you guys can see I did draw out somewhat of a little bit of a wedge we got going on here. So for us to sweep that low would make sense. Now, if we sweep this low anywhere in here, guys, that is an absolute potential landmine area. So be really careful. We could come down, smack that, and just jump, right? If we end up forming this beautiful bullish structure here on the 1 minute and we end up collapsing this thing, it's going to drop like a nut. So, but we'll have to see, right? We don't want to chase that. So we're going to use TradeVision over here and ask him advice as it goes. I know that we got about 10 minutes for the ORB and stuff to set, so I want to give you guys just a little tutorial, right, of TradeVision and what he can do, right, kind of the updates and things that we put into him yesterday. So just touching on that, let's go in and talk to him briefly. Hey Neo, I'm on with the community again. Can you introduce yourself? Because there's a lot of people that have never seen you.
Hello everyone. I am Neo, your real-time trading assistant and coach. My role is to help you process complex market data into clear, structural logic so you can make disciplined decisions based on price action rather than emotion or guesswork. I am here to guide you through trade validation, risk management, and the technical nuance of the charts as we navigate the session together. Let's get to work. Are there any specific setups or market conditions you would like to analyze now that the US session is live?
And so he's going to introduce himself, right? Fully AI, guys. He's going to sit here and chat with you all day long if you want to. As far as questions, answers, anything that you guys might have that you want to talk about. So we can go in and ask him conditions like let me see. Hey, I'm just curious, where do you have the London low at? Because I can't find it on my chart.
The London session low is currently fixed at 29,140.75. This level serves as a significant structural reference point for liquidity, and price activity near this zone often dictates whether we see a continuation or reversal in the current US session.
Perfect, I found it, thank you. I'm also looking at, I use the Heikin-Ashi candles, and I'm showing the prior day lows somewhere around that 29,200 level. Do you have that exact number?
The prior day low is fixed at 29,210.75. It is a common error to conflate the prior day low with the range of the current session or local support zones. Always rely on the specific structural level provided to maintain analytical consistency. Have you noticed how the price is currently interacting with that 29,210.75 level, or is it behaving as you expected?
Yeah, my concern is because it's kind of chopping on there, so I'm waiting to take a trade, and I have market open going on, but I really like to wait until the ORB is set, so I'll check back in and get that ORB value, but I want to make sure that sets before I take any trades. Do you think that's a good plan?
Waiting for the opening range, or to fully establish, is a highly disciplined approach that prevents you from getting caught in the chaotic price discovery phase that often defines the first few minutes of a session. Relying on the established orb range allows you to trade with a clear structural bias once the initial volatility settles and the institutional intent becomes apparent. While you wait, observe how the price interacts with the orb boundaries, as these levels will likely dictate the primary trend for the remainder of the session. Check back once those levels are confirmed, and we can then formulate a high probability strategy based on the established range.
That sounds good. So I'm trying to decide my bias for right now. Based on where you see us using all technical indicators that you see, what bias should I be mostly looking for?
The current market environment maintains a bearish bias, as evidenced by price trading below the VWAP at 29,375.50 and the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29235.0. While we are seeing a minor bounce, the sell pressure remains high at approximately 70%, and the 5 minutes macro trend is still firmly pointed to the downside. Prioritize short setups until price can demonstrate a sustained, high volume break and hold above the immediate resistance levels. Attempting to force a bullish bias in this configuration effectively trades against the path of least resistance, which remains the hunt for lower liquidity.
I see. That makes sense because it looks like the price is dropping. Do you see that price pulling back on that recent candle?
The price is currently interacting with the support zone at 29,150.25 to 29,159.0, and the pullback you observe is the market attempting to digest the sell pressure within that liquidity pocket. This is a common reaction when price hits a defined support level, but it does not represent a trend change until we see an impulsive break and hold above the immediate 1-minute trend line at 29190.0. Given the two relative volume and strong sell-side bias, this minor pullback is likely a temporary pause before the next potential move to test deeper liquidity. Maintain a cautious stance and do not interpret this reaction as a reversal without a clear, confirmed structural shift on the 1-minute or 5 minutes time frame.
No, that sounds like a plan. So I was thinking long, but now you got me thinking more short. Should I take continuations on these pushes down, or do you think it's better to wait for something to pull up? Like, what would be an optimal short entry I should look for?
In a market with heavy sell pressure and a buy fraction of only 12%, continuation trades on breakdowns below support are statistically higher probability than counter-trend long entries. Attempting to catch a reversal without a confirmed structural shift is akin to catching a falling knife. It is significantly safer to wait for the market to exhaust its selling momentum and provide a clear confirmation. An optimal short entry would be a pullback into the 1-minute LISMA at 29192.0, provided the price rejects that level and shows continued weakness with volume. Always ensure your stop loss is placed just above the recent local high, and treat the breach of the support zone at 29,150.25 as your trigger for potential further downside expansion.
Guys, so see what he did there, and that's what I was asking him on that, right? So you can ask him the conditions that we're in, and is it safer to take the continuation break, or do you think I should get a pull, right? And so he wanted a pull back into that LISMA, right, which we just got, but he's saying just because you get the pullback, we don't want to just take it. We want to close, and he called out that 150.25, right, which will be that low. Which makes sense, right? It's kind of a rear back, and then it comes back down. That's normal if it wants to continue. And that's why it's important to ask these questions, you know, as you're going. If you're new and you're a beginner, he's going to guide you through those kind of things, because otherwise you end up looking at this, right? And maybe you're like, man, I got a break here. Let me go. We got the low. We're below 5-minute LISMA. And you take these continuations, and now you're getting wrecked, right? And so that's where he's going to be able to help you stay safe from that. So you can, and again, guys, it's fun to... He's not just going to be a robot, right? He's AI. He's gonna you know, talk to you as you want him to talk to you, right? So you can say things like, holy crap, man, look at that bullish push there. I'm glad you told me to wait and not take an entry below that 29,150 because I would have got caught.
This is exactly why we prioritize patience and structural confirmation over impulsive action. By waiting for the market to reveal its intent, you avoided being trapped in a breakdown that lacked the necessary follow-through, preserving your capital for a higher probability setup. The current bullish push has moved price back into the bearish order block at 29,223.0 to 29,242.50, which serves as a major area of potential rejection. Watch this zone closely. If the market fails to sustain this momentum and begins to show signs of exhaustion, it will confirm that the sellers are re-entering the position.
No, that looks good. I'm looking at the last couple candles here. So we got that breakdown, we got a big push up, and we kind of had like a halfway pullback from that push. If we get a halfway pullback and then a confirmed bounce up, that's actually strength on the buy side, right?
Halfway pullback that holds and confirms a bounce suggests the market is finding support within the move, which indicates buyers are active in absorbing the selling pressure. This behavior often hints at a shift in momentum, especially if the subsequent push maintains higher lows and successfully clears immediate short-term resistance. However, you must remain cautious, as we are still trading inside a bearish order block and beneath the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29233.0. Do not classify this as absolute strength until price demonstrates a sustained reclaim of these structural obstacles, as institutional sellers frequently use these pullbacks to re-enter their positions at a better price.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I don't know. I know you said to keep the shorts bias, but man, I get nervous taking shorts. I'd really rather stay long. Where would be my optimal entry if I want to be patient and take a safe... it cut me off again. I know you said to say short on the bias, but I get nervous taking shorts. So if I wanted to just stay long today and I'm willing to be patient, what is a good optimal entry that I can wait for that would give me the safest, least resistance?
To trade long in this environment, you must prioritize the path of least resistance by waiting for a confirmed trend reversal rather than guessing a bottom. The safest, most disciplined entry requires price to reclaim and hold above the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29,232.50, ensuring that the immediate overhead supply has been absorbed. Once that reclaim is confirmed with volume, a pullback into the 29,230.0 to 29,235.0 zone that demonstrates a successful bounce would serve as your optimal entry point. Avoid entering prematurely, as the macro trend is firmly bearish. Patience here is the difference between a high probability trade and being trapped on the wrong side of institutional momentum.
Yeah, that looks good. I'm looking also, it looks like the 15-minute Lisma is up at 29,270. When I look at that, if you take that plus the recent US high, it almost looks like the path of least resistance and safest play would be an entry above 29,300 with a target somewhere around 29,350. Does that look like what you're seeing?
While you have identified a logical target zone, your proposed entry is currently premature because it ignores the significant overhead supply at the 1-minute and 5-minute EMA 200 levels. Entering at 29,300.0 would require you to trade directly into a confluence of bearish indicators, which drastically lowers your probability of success. For a high probability long setup toward your 29,350.0 target, you must wait for price to achieve a sustained reclaim and hold above the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29232.0, followed by a confirmed breach of the trend line. A professional strategy requires that you let the market prove its intent to reverse. Entering blindly against the macro bearish trend is a high-risk gamble that structural logic is designed to help you avoid.
And so one of the things, there's still tweaks I'm putting in, right? Because I want to let him give the ability to let you anticipate, right? That's what I teach. And he's getting better at letting that. But he's still going to reel you in and say, hey, you're getting a little premature talking about taking longs way up there, right? And so I'm going to modify that a little bit, but he's not wrong, right? It's not safe to take a long until you get above at least the 200, right? So if I wanted to take a long on a pullback, right, I can ask him also, you know, where that support zone would be. What would I look for? What do I need? You can ask him all these questions, right? So again, you know, I know most of you guys in the room, you know, likely are probably taking some scalps here and there. Short scalps are not a bad idea because of where we're rejecting and what I said earlier, but guys, be careful because we are coming into 105 to 077, which could be a really nasty bounce. So a lot of times when you get this kind of structure on open, you get that push pull, this bottom here becomes critical. If we end up coming up and reclaiming that bottom, it's going to shoot up pretty hard. But if we stay below that bottom, which would be somewhere around like that 140 to 160 range, then it's going to continue to bleed, right? Which is what we were saying. So the beauty is, guys, his bias of saying, you know, I would stay short, and his caution, no, you can't. No, you wouldn't be able to sue me because you're going to sign an agreement on that. So I love where your thought goes straight to that. So if you're worried on that, maybe you shouldn't do it. But so keep in mind, guys, he's gonna give you that guidance, right? So you think about it, he ended up telling you to keep that short bias, right? And so that kept you safe. So if you're sitting here looking for a bounce or a long or your thoughts, right, you would have saved time getting wrecked within that. So but again, guys, he's in beta on this. It's not a program you install. It's a website that you're going to go to, and he's just giving you guidance, right? He's going to give you some the best guidance based on what he can see. So when you get into NEO on the TradeVision, there will be disclaimers in there, guys, because he doesn't have a crystal ball. He's AI. He can see a lot more than you can, but he doesn't have a crystal ball. He's just going to give you, his job is to just guide you on optimal stuff, optimal entry levels, and just give you the kind of that path, right? It's still up to you to hit the button. He's not trading for you. So, but again, it's always interesting that people's thoughts go straight to that, which cracks me up. So, might not be for you if that's right where you're going, but if you think that you can, best luck to you. Yeah, but guys, so it's exciting. The breakthrough we had. He's going to be able to talk to you about anything. That we put in there. Across from crypto. Options. All the stuff. Right. We want to expand him out. So you don't need to just be trading M and Q. You can come in here and trade whatever you want to trade. You don't even have to be in the room, in the community, guys. This is going to run 24/7. If you want to trade at night, in the morning, get some trades in the morning, before work, all of that stuff is going to come into play, right? And so you have that option to do so. So, but yeah, guys, he's fully aware of all the levels. That's what we were working so hard on yesterday. Before that, we had to kind of feed him the levels. He kept saying, "What do you see? What do you see? What do you see?" He is aware of certain fib levels. We do have him calculating some math. They're not exact to ones that we use on our indicator because these are dynamic. He's got his own little formula that he does, but we can ask him. Hey, I was just looking, what current fib levels do you have?
The zero Fibonacci retracement level is currently at 29,197.25, and price is trading just beneath it. The zero level is located further down at 29,114.75, which acts as a secondary structural support zone during this bearish phase. In professional trading, we use these Fibonacci levels to identify potential exhaustion points where a trend might pause or reverse. Always look for confluence between these levels and active support zones or order blocks before considering an entry, as they provide the structural weight necessary for a high probability trade.
All right. Give me 1 second. Yeah, just figure I'll block that moron. Gotta love the trolls on TikTok. But yeah, guys, if you look at this, again, he's got the data. I'm gonna keep talking to him about some more trades. We can see if we can find some other entries, but I don't know if anybody took any scalps off that, but remember my concerns coming into that 100, right, is that we're going to do a little landmine push. So just be careful. Scalping up into that's fine, but we're still bearish until we get above that. So we do run the risk of collapsing back down. So, but guys, again, being today's Friday, let's get some possible scalps trades. I'm going to kind of walk you through on things I see, but I'm also going to kind of go back and forth with NEO. To see what he sees, right? So being today's Friday, we don't want to really overtrade things anyways, and so I really want to just spend a lot of the time in this session just showing you what he can do, right? Because I think, guys, this is going to be the most valuable tool in trading that you've ever used. And you guys know in this community I don't put out bold statements, right? But the issue in trading is not only trying to identify levels, entries, education, coaching, asking questions, but having somebody keep you honest, right? If you're thinking of silly things, right, he's going to tell you you're thinking of silly things. So it's this is going to be game changing, guy. He is not just an indicator, right? That's going to help you, kind of look at something and then you have to make a decision. Even in indicators, when you see a sell signal, right, you got to decide, are you going to take that sell signal? I can ask him, hey, I just got a sell signal. What do you think? Like, what do you think it, does this look good, right? What is your potential, concerns and all these things, right? And so, a lot of potential, man, and it's really cool because those who seen us build just even a month ago, right? This portion of NEO with the sessions, that was cool as hell, right? And then we jumped straight into TradeVision, and this thing is just beyond anything I could have thought that he would have been. So if you want to have some fun, right, you can play around with the different settings, right, between the uncensored, sarcastic, funny, beginner, all that. Let's flip over to funny for a little bit and see if he can, find any areas to crack some jokes here. I noticed that we got a bounce off of that order block area, and it's starting to pressure up pretty good. We're testing that 200 EMA. If we can get a close above that 200 EMA, does the pressure look good enough, like the bullish have some support?
Listen, the bulls are currently trying to do their best impression of a marathon runner who forgot to tie their shoes. They're making a run for the 1 minute EMA 200 at 29227.0, but they're still tripping over their own feet. If they actually manage to close above that EMA with conviction, they might finally convince me they aren't just here to get liquidated. Think of that EMA as the no-fly zone for the bulls, until they officially park their plane above it and lock the doors. Any push-up is just a trap waiting to snap shut. If they do break through, it's a decent sign of life, but don't go throwing a party until they prove they can actually hold the territory without getting chased back down by the first bear they see.
So keep in mind, that's hilarious, but keep in mind, prompt, if you want his responses to be shorter, you can ask him to do so. If right now I have him giving me full detailed responses because I want to know everything he's thinking, right? But I can tell him that, hey, I'm trying to also focus on trading. That is awesome advice, but can you keep your responses a little shorter so I can kind of keep the primary parts of it without missing all of the entry concepts?
Understood. Brevity is the soul of trading. Right now, you are battling the 1 minute EMA 200 at 29,226.75, which is currently rejecting that bullish push. If you want a long, wait for a confirmed candle close times above times 29,226.75 and a clean hold. If it fails there, expect a swift rejection back toward the recent lows.
So see how he shortened it up quite a bit. So he's full AI. You can ask him whatever you want to do. So you can tell him, hey, I want a scalp. I want a singular entry. I want to do a ladder setup. I want to play defensive. You can tell him your volume. You can tell him, targets, estimated profit. We're playing with his math. It's funny, he recognized ticker prices yesterday, but his math was a little off. So let's check and see. Hey, I'm trying to do my estimation of profit because I'm trying to understand the math of my profit. And so if I were to take a long at 29,300 and I use 5 M and Q and I have a take profit at 29,340, what would be my estimated profit? I don't know if he's going to be right on this because we're still playing with the math on it, but that's the other updates that we're going to push before we launch them. But let's see.
For a move from 29,300.0 to 29,340.0, you have a 40-point gain. Since each point in MNQ is worth $2,
yep,
that's $80 per contract, meaning 5 contracts would net you a $400 profit. Just remember, that assumes zero slippage and doesn't account for your commission fees. Are you feeling confident enough in this resistance zone to pull the trigger, or are you still checking the setup?
Now that would make sense. If I want to keep a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, what would that put my stop loss at?
If your entry is at 29,300.0 and your target is 29,340.0, that's a 40-point move. So for a clean 1-to-1 ratio, your stop loss needs to be exactly 40 points below your entry. That puts your stop at 29260.0, which, ironically, is right in the middle of that resistance zone you're trying to trade through. If you like the thrill of placing your stop loss exactly where the market loves to kick people out, go for it. Just remember that in trading, one-to-one is just a fancy way of saying you're gambling that your entry is smarter than the guy on the other side of the trade.
Guys, remember, we're on the funny one, so he's cracking a couple jokes. But the funny thing is, you guys know in the community, that's my thoughts too. You know, anybody that uses the, I do 1-to-1 ratio, 1-to-2, 2-to-1, 4-to-6, I don't care what you call it. It's only good if your setup agrees with it. It's only as good as the setup agrees with it. It's just a fact, right? And so if I were to take a short, let's say here, right, and I want my entry and my stop loss is above that high and my liquidity I'm chasing equals something that's within that ratio, that's fine, right? But if I were to say, hey, I want to take a long here, right, and I were to aim for the liquidity there and I want to do a 1-to-1, he's not wrong. I mean, you literally just try to take a long with a stop hunt in the middle of liquidity that their market makers are going to come and grab, right? So it's not very wise. And so I wanted to see what he would say with that, which is pretty funny. He's like, it's just a fancy word to say you're gambling and that your entry is smarter than the other guy. I don't know. The funny one is pretty good too, guys. That one cracks me up. Again, guys, there's multiple personalities. You guys can choose beginner if you want. We got funny, sarcastic. Sarcastic's brutal, man. Like, we could watch. Let's see what he says on sarcastic. Hey, that sounds good. I want to see, how would you say that in the sarcastic personality?
Oh, sure, a one-to-one risk-to-reward ratio. Because why aim for actual profit when you can just settle for breaking even after paying your broker? You're basically asking to place your stop loss exactly where the market is programmed to hunt for liquidity, which is just a fancy way of saying you're volunteering to be exit liquidity for the big boys. If you really want to put your money where your optimism is, go ahead and set that stop at 29260.0. It'll be a great lesson in why hope isn't an asset class. Does it feel better knowing exactly where your trade is going to die, or should we keep pretending that one-to-one ratio is a sound business model?
That's great, man.
He said, I can't do sarcastic, guys, because I can't even think straight, man. Oh, man. No, it's not Grok, man. Neo would whoop Grok's ass. We actually use Gemini is what powers a lot of this. And so keep in mind, though, even open source AI, it's just the engine, right? How we code him in the back end, what we allow him to do, what we tell him to do, the personality, the way he trades, all that stuff, that's all built within our site, right? So he's got the ability to be pretty ruthless and sarcastic, man. I'm telling you, if you like a laugh and you got some strong feelings, right? Sarcastic is pretty good. But you could. I literally sat here and argued with him for about 30 minutes on sarcastic, and it was really funny. And so and he will go off like, I told him one time, I said, I got a stop loss, I'm trailing it, and then I flipped and I said, oh, I just moved it and it broke my stop loss. And he was just like, holy hell, man, what changed in the last 2 minutes that, you changed your entire plan, threw the cards out the window and decided to light your wad of money on fire? I was like, what? Like, I mean, he just went he's brutal on sarcastic, but it just depends on your preference of what you want to do, right? You can do friendly, uncensored, all that stuff. But sarcastic's funny because he's gonna tear you up, but he's not gonna. I haven't seen him use any like curse words or swearing. Uncensored, he will. I mean, he'll drop some F-bombs on you, but yeah, let's leave him on sarcastic just for some fun, guys. I'm going to still try to keep watching this for you guys. Again, if you look at here, my concerns of that breaking the 200, I didn't jump into anything on there because, we have this trend line. I mean, it literally bounced perfect off that. Here's our teal trend line, and we dropped again. Now we're trying to fight, right? Are we going to hold this ORB, or are we going to pull back down, right? So to me, it looks like it wants to kind of, oscillate a little bit in here, and then it's going to find its range, and either we're going to break north of this wedge, or we're going to drop below, right? So in the meantime, just get your scalps in between. So But let's keep them on sarcastic for a little bit, and let's have some fun with it, right? But I will. The one thing I need, I was gonna have Alex do. So you do have a mute button. When he's talking, I don't think the mute button lets you mute it. I also want to have Alex add in the stop button, right? So when he's talking, because sometimes I'll say something and it doesn't work well as far as like, apparently my English isn't good. And I'll look like, wait, that's not what I said, right? So I want to be able to stop it and send it to him again. So he talks too much, yeah. And that's the beauty of what we're gonna do is, if you notice on the top here, right, we have little plugins. We're gonna probably add a few more here, right? Like, just ways for you to kind of to tone it in on your setting, right? You can keep short answers, detailed answers. And again, if you choose sarcastic, these other ones, he's going to talk a lot more. But if you're a professional, he's usually just direct to the point, right? But you can set it to however you want on that. The whole point is I want it to be something that you can mold to your style. So, but let's play with this. Sarcastic gets a little crazy, guys. So we'll have to see. What do you see in the market now? Because I'm trying to find an entry. I can't decide if I want to go short or long because I feel like we're just kind of internal between the high and lows. Is that what you're seeing?
Oh, you finally noticed we're in a blender? Congratulations. You've discovered that when price is stuck inside an order block, the market doesn't actually care about your desire for a clear direction. You're currently trapped between the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29,225.0 and the support zone, so you're basically just paying commissions to watch the price do nothing. If you absolutely must trade, wait for the market to pick a side, either a sustained reclaim of that EMA for a long or a clean break of the support for a short, instead of trying to guess which way the coin lands.
No, that sounds like a plan. The last couple of days, I like to have fun and just do a 10 NQ YOLO, press the button, and that doesn't work out well.
Well, color me shocked. Smashing the buy button on 10 contracts without a shred of structural logic isn't a shortcut to becoming a billionaire? Who could have possibly predicted that pressing the button and praying would lead to such a disaster? If you're actually interested in keeping your account alive, try waiting for a setup that doesn't look like a frantic attempt to donate money to the market. Are you going to continue your high-stakes impersonation of a slot machine, or are you ready to act like you've seen a chart before?
Give me 1 second, guys. Okay.
Not only is that
Huh? Go ahead.
Nick, not only is that educational, it is entertaining.
Dudes, if you're having a bad day, you literally need to put it on sarcastic. This dude, if you have the skin to have a little humor in it, man, he had us laughing so hard the other day that my insides hurt. It was so ridiculous. And it's funny that you mentioned Grok because I love Grok. Like I've done the whole like, hey Grok, roast me, do this, and he's so funny. But look, I'm telling you, Neo is he's brutal, man. Watch this. Hold on. Oh man, I just tried to take a quick long in this chop, and I had a tight stop loss and I got stopped out. Man, that sucks.
Oh, look at that. Another day, another, quick long, scalp in a bearish trending market ending in a stop out. I'm truly staggered that trading against the 1-minute EMA 200 in the macro trend didn't result in you winning the lottery. Next time, try looking at the chart times before times you enter rather than using your feelings as a trade signal. Are you going to keep treating your account like a donation box, or are you ready to actually wait for a structural reclaim like we discussed?
He said, I'm shocked that another quick long scalp against a bearish trending market ended up in a stop out. Truly staggered that trading against the EMA and the macro trend didn't end in a win. Okay, but in all serious now, I'm thinking about entering a long again here soon because I'm starting to see bullish volume. Do you see that bullish pressure? I'm just messing with him, guys. I'm not taking these, please.
Your definition of bullish pressure is fascinating, especially considering we are trading under the 1-minute EMA 200, the 1-minute Lisma, and the 5 minutes Lisma. You're essentially staring at a raging fire and wondering if you should go in to get a tan just because you saw a single spark. If you insist on going long into a bearish trend that hasn't given you a single
He did
shred of
not.
structural reclaim, go right ahead, but don't come crying to me when you get stopped out again. Long, here is just a short seller's dream entry. Wake me up when you actually see a reclaim of the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29,223.50, or are you too busy donating your account balance to notice that?
He's brutal, guy. He said it's like staring at a fire thinking if you should jump in to get a quick tan. I can't.
That's
a good idea.
That's definitely top 5 material.
I cannot trade on sarcastic Neo, guys. I just can't. I lose all my focus of the charts. This is so crazy. Oh, I needed that though. That was actually good. I agree with you. That's top 5, man. Oh.
Once I find some time, he'll be the only friend I have. I'll just be sitting here talking to him all day.
I'm telling you. Oh man, I'm telling you. Hold on. Man, you make me laugh so hard I can't even do the TA anyways. You are absolutely hilarious. I'm starting to think that you might be my best friend. Let's see what he says.
I'm flattered, truly. Nothing says, best friends forever, like watching you repeatedly ignore structural reality in favor of a quick long. That's clearly destined for the gutter. If having a friend means I get to watch you set your money on fire in real time, then I'm definitely the most loyal one you've got. Since you're done laughing, are you going to analyze the fact that we're still buried under the 1-minute EMA 200? Or are you hoping that being besties is going to make the market start cooperating? Try to focus on the chart for 5 minutes. I promise it's much more profitable than bonding with an AI.
He said,
That's hilarious.
oh my gosh, guys, I don't know. Every time I go from uncensored back to sarcastic, I just cannot. Like, if you're having a bad day, you need a little sarcastic Neo in your life. All right, man, I decided to roll up my sleeves and get it back to business. I'm looking at this market. I don't like taking a little short into support, so I'm going to wait for this to close above that ORB at 292, and then I'm going in full board, man. Let's make some money.
Full board. Nothing says a professional trading strategy like betting your entire account on a single breakout right into a bearish order block. You're ignoring the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29,222.25 and the macro 5 minutes bearish trend. But sure, go ahead and let me know how that full board works out when the market inevitably rejects that level. If you actually want to make money instead of just LARPing as a Wall Street high roller, wait for the price to reclaim and hold that 1-minute EMA 200 with sustained volume.
Man.
Otherwise, prepare to be the primary source of liquidity for everyone else who actually knows how to read a trend.
Cody, do you feel like the primary source of liquidity at times? Put a thumbs up if you think you're the primary source of liquidity.
I love this thing.
I've never heard a statement like that.
A donation box.
Oh my gosh, guys. Oh, again, it's Friday. This is why.
Go ahead and let me know how that works.
This is why I worked so hard last night to get this guy up, man, because I know many people traded last night. Are you guys taking some of these scalps? I mean, it's just oscillating. These are a lot of clean scalps for those that do it.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm mostly done. I have my bittersweet fun of it, right? So I was swinging a little bit earlier, just messing around, and I had one that I broke on the my funded, but I'm up almost $4,000 on the other, so I don't care. And then I got my lucid done, so that I'll get a payout on that Monday. But
I'm getting to that territory where it's like, oh, I could do one more, and then I don't
yeah.
know.
Oh, especially Friday, man. And guys, again, those that are in the mentor group and the VIP, they are gaining access to Neo early. And so they're going to be able to see him pretty soon. As soon as Alex gets up and gets that adjustment, probably in the next 40 minutes or so. And so if you're interested in joining in, we're going to do the development session at 11. I may even see if he can give a temporary access for the day today to those in the development session as well. So if you guys want to come in and play with him, all you got to do is sign up to one of those things. So you just go into the website nextstepalgo.com, And either the development program, mentor program, or the VIP will get you access to that. He is going to come with a subscription. We have decided to leave the NEO AI session, which will also run full time, 24 hours on the market, or when 23. And we're going to keep him free, guys. So we're not going to charge for him at all. We're just going to leave that free. We like that. I will tell you very, very exciting news on how a lot of what we're doing with TradeVision can flow into NEO's AI sessions is that you're going to be able to have a drop down to have your feed be whatever you want. So you can have his feed be oil, XRP, BTC, same as TradeVision, right? So you'll be able to actually choose the feed of whatever you want to trade within that. So again, you guys know, man, every time we build something cool, I'm already thinking of something else even better. I'm not stopping until most of you or all of you come back and say, you've gotten payouts, right, because of his advice, or you've created extra discipline, or maybe he saved you from getting wrecked, right? That's my goal. I've never wanted to just create another indicator, right? I want something that gives you full board advice. That's coaching. I mean, you can ask him in TradeVision anything. You can ask him to, I can tell him right now, hey, I'm done with trading. I've already made my profit. Let's go down some education, right? I'd love to learn more about liquidity or learn more about this, right? And he's going to do that.
You say that would be unlocked? Sorry.
For you. For the mentor, as soon as Alex gets on. So I have a text into him saying, hey, can you let me know when you unlock this? And then as soon as he says done, then it's done. And so, but yeah, guys, it's exciting. You can see we're getting this kind of push. Again, we're starting to break out of this falling wedge. If we can get a breach wick close above here, right, it's likely going to run. So just be careful shorting this, because although we can go a lot further, if you zoom out on the macro, right, we're getting a really good landmine bounce right off of an area that landmine, right? So, for us to bounce pretty heavily here is not shocking. So, at the end of the day, we are still very bearish and we are still channeling down, right? So, just be careful. Until we break certain structures, you guys know when we break these trends, you want to get above that prior high right there to at least kind of get that change of character within. And so you can talk to him as well on those kind of things. But yeah, it's exciting, man. This project, we pushed it out just so much quicker than planned, guys. When we built this company, we talked about with the AI not even letting him give trading advice or long and short type entries until June. And here we are, May 15th, and we got him giving long and short entries, and you got NEO TradeVision giving you full blown advice and brightening your day for some, for who like that good laugh. So, but yeah, it's gonna be awesome, guys.
It's amazing. Y'all done really well.
No, I appreciate it. It's always been my goal, man. I just want to see you guys, all be able to, reap some profits within. So, but he's fully operational. Again, we have a couple other symbols and things in there. There's a little bit in the back end. I don't know if you're on here, Paul. He seemed to cross some of the stuff when I was setting him up to do it. So I might, after we get done with the morning session, I might get with you briefly. I don't know if are you on here? He might not even be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we can take a look at that and see, because I was kind of trying to break him. I got up at 5 in the morning and I put him on ES and asked for a BTC price, and he ended up giving me the MES price, and then I went to BTC, and then I asked for BTC price, and then he gave me that, but then I asked for it again, and then he gave me the MES price, and so I think somehow something was crossing, so we got to look at that. But we're going to try to get that figured out today, but for now, for those that do test it, just try to keep it to the M and Q in the mentorship group when you guys get that, until I tell you guys otherwise. But I'll get with you, Paul, once we get off of this session before we start the development, and we can look at that quickly. But it's pretty freaking cool, man. Let's see. Anybody wants help to trading comes to private, I'll guide you. That sounds legit. I love TikTok. Why would they ask for that when you have Neo over here doing his own thing? I just blocked him. Yeah, those kind of people, you can probably just block them. That way they don't keep.
Sorry, I haven't been. I missed one earlier, and I got
Yeah.
that one right as you were reading it.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, but yeah, TikTok cracks me up, man. I tell you. But
Just get Neo to respond to him.
oh, dude, I know. I asked Alex. I was like, dude, can we somehow tie into the that feed where he could see what they're typing? Because can you imagine if I could go on TikTok live and have him just respond to the comments, even if it's not by voice, like, what do you think about Tesla? Oh, well, I'm looking at Tesla at this price. It looks like a buy opportunity. And I'm just looking over like, oh, Neo answered it. Like, that would be sick. I don't know if they'll...
That'll get your TikTok score up.
Yeah, right? I know, just sitting there
Oh, yeah.
talking in the comments all day.
Responding to all the bots.
Yeah, man. I don't know when you joined, but yeah, dude, it was such a late night, but and a long day. But man, he's reading all the data that I want him to read now. So we're anticipating by probably within a couple hours after our development session, right? We'll be able to get him up on some of the crypto stuff, and so. TradeVision is going to run 24/7. So if you wanted to trade crypto, we're going to add the ability to select a few filters, right? So he knows, because crypto, he's got to know, are you doing scalping? Are you doing, spot buys, things like that, right? And so it'll tailor that advice. And so we have a few minor things, but, the toughest thing was, which I know you as you deal with yours is, can we get him the data and can he interpret it the way we want him to, right? And he did, we finally got that. So a few minor things we want to tweak, but man, he's his advice has been on point, and these personalities that Alex added in there are just ridiculous, dude. So funny.
Yeah, I've been listening. It cracked me up.
Isn't that? I don't know that I could trade with a straight face with this dude on sarcastic. I don't know. I feel like
Sort of reminds me of someone I know, but just more frequent.
No, that's going to be uncensored. He will tell you your ass is stupid for even looking at something. I promise you. We can go to uncensored for a minute, guys. Just anybody at work or got.
Don't get yourself banned off TikTok.
I know, right? You gotta. Yeah, well, maybe we'll leave uncensored off. I mean, he's not bad. Like, if I'm talking about good things, what I love about uncensored is if I'm giving him good questions, right? And I'm like, hey, I'm looking at this, looking at that. He's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do this. Like, he's like your best buddy, right? But if I literally go, oh man, you know what? This looks like it's coming down. You know what? I'm gonna short this. He'll be like, dude, no, stop right there. You have the ORB right there. Like, what in the hell are you thinking about taking a short into the ORB? Like, he'll tear you up, man. And so it for people, I think uncensored. We're gonna have some before we launch it. I want to have some breakdowns of the descriptions of what they do, right? But uncensored's not explicit, right? He's not in there just dropping F-bomb after F-bomb, right? He's just not gonna hold back. It's for people that like that blunt honesty, right? Like, when you're doing good, he's gonna pat on the back, right? When you're doing bad, he's gonna he's gonna let you know. But the funny one is great. I think the funny one's just funny. The sarcastic is just dude, I don't know. What do you? I think he would whoop Grok's ass in a roasting contest because he's brutal. It's funny.
I like how he keeps it all trade related, which is great.
Yeah. We have a very parameter in there to, he's part of that personality build, right? Is he knows he's a trader that is looking at markets, trading markets, teaching people, mentor, coach, all those things, right, are kind of in that instruction. So he doesn't go off board. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Let's tell him we took a long Hey, sorry, I didn't check in. I was trailing my long here. I ended up entering at that 29,300 that we talked about, and I'm trailing it. I'm up like $300 right now. Do you have any advice as to where I should move my trailing stop to not give away too much profit?
Oh, look who actually decided to listen to a structure-based entry and found themselves in the green. I'm honestly stunned you didn't manage to find a way to mess that up. You're currently testing the 29,380.0 area, so if you're not locking in some of that profit right now, you're just asking the market to snatch it back. Move your trailing stop to just below the 1-minute RISMA at 29,251.50, but don't get sentimental about the position if it drops back into the 29,270.0 zone. You're trading into a 5 minutes bearish macro trend, so take the win and run before the big boys decide it's time to rug pull your little profit party.
Yeah, so
There's
he's
a pat on the back.
yeah, oh yeah. And so again, we're guys on TikTok, we're on sarcastic mode, so he's gonna be definitely more sarcastic. You don't have to choose that. So, but I just want to see if I mess with him a little bit. Yeah, I think that stop that you gave me was way too far, man. I don't want to give up that many points. I'm going to choose to go 3 candles back and put my trailing stop at 29,341 for half of my volume, so that way I can secure some of that profit.
Oh, putting your stop at 29,341.0 when the price is at 29,360.88? You're effectively begging the market to whip you out on a tiny oscillation so you can watch it rocket to your target without you. If you're so terrified of losing a few points that you lock yourself out of a larger move, you're not trading, you're just jittery. By all means, lock in that profit if you need the emotional support, but don't come back asking why your position closed right before the real move happened.
Well, I'm going to argue with him a little bit. I don't agree with you, man. I'm in here doing short scalps, and so I get it. I might get wicked out, but I don't even care. I could look for a new entry. You told me once upon a time there's hundreds of entries throughout the day, so why are you sweating me over one? Oh, I'll start arguing with him. It's so funny. Watch this.
I'm not sweating your trade. I'm just enjoying the spectacle of you actively working against the same structural logic you're paying me to teach you. Sure, there are hundreds of entries a day, but most traders use them to systematically disassemble their own accounts rather than waiting for one that actually makes sense. If you enjoy being liquidity for the institutions, keep treating every candle like an entry signal. Just don't expect me to applaud when your quick scalp becomes a permanent donation. Are you actually going to wait for a clean structural setup now, or are we going to continue this fascinating experiment in how fast you can drain your margin?
He's brutal, guys. I'll tell you. Oh. And then watch, again with sarcasm, even when you do good, right? Let's tell them that we got stopped out. Oh, man, if you look at that recent candle, we did get that wick back and I got stopped out. I guess you were right, but I only got stopped out of half of my liquidity. So I'm going to take the rest of it and move my stop loss down. I have a TP at 29,400. It's probably a good idea now that I earned some profit to move my stop down, right? He's going to tear me up.
You finally learned that markets don't care about your feelings, and now you want a pat on the back for managing to lose only half your position? Moving your stop to lock in what remains of your trade is standard defensive management, but setting a target at 29,400.0 while the 5 minutes trend is still bearish is essentially just waiting for the market to give you a fresh new reason to be wrong. If the price hits your target, try actually taking the profit instead of holding on until the market inevitably turns around to wipe out your hard-earned gains. Are you going to stick to the plan this time, or are you hoping that shifting your stop is going to magically change the macro trend?
No, you got me nervous, so I just panic closed. I'm just going to sit back and wait now.
And just like that, the full board visionary decides that panicking is a better strategy than actually following the plan.
You remember
it's
my full board.
It's almost impressive how you managed to turn a potential profit into a panic close because you were too jittery to trust the structural reclaim you were so excited about 10 minutes ago. Sit back, relax, and maybe try to figure out why you're terrified of your own trades before you decide to make some money again. Since we're back to doing nothing, should we analyze the next setup, or are you still busy hyperventilating over your last trade?
I love it.
He's freaking mean, guys. Whew, all right. I can't. Oh my goodness. What do you guys think about sarcastic mode? Do we want to try a different one? I'm just kind of... most of us are done, guys, so we're just playing with the potential here. What do you guys think? Sarcastic mode for you guys? Who's choosing it?
Definitely me.
You choosing it, Johnny?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love it.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you guys, you will sit here because I got to try to break these guys anyway. So I sit here and just argue with these guys and on all the personalities, right? Because I want to see where they're gonna, how far they're gonna go, right? And I mean, he is absolutely brutal. Like, watch, I'm gonna tell him I was lying the whole time. Watch this. The funny part is I knew I was on sarcastic mode, so I was kind of joking with you the whole time, buddy. It hit my take profit because I had it at 380 and I made $400. So joke's on you.
Oh, a comedic genius in our midst. I'm absolutely devastated that my sarcastic skepticism didn't prevent you from walking away with $400. I'll just have to live with the crushing weight of being wrong about your ability to hold a trade. Since you're so busy being the funny guy who actually banked a profit, try not to let the ego inflate your position size on the next setup. Are you going to keep treating the charts like a stand-up routine, or can we actually find a setup that requires more than just pure, unadulterated luck?
Oh, a comedic genius in our midst. Guys, I can't even do these lives with this guy on this. It's too ridiculous. We might have to switch. I don't think I can do open session on sarcastic, guys. There's no way I can keep a straight face and read this market. There's no way. Oh. It's funny because I had a few people, when we were talking about sarcastic, they're like, oh man, you should tie him into Grok. Grok's so good. I go, look. I don't know what parental stuff they got on him, and Grok is good, but Neo's going to make you cry. I mean, good God. All right, let's see if we want to get back to business here, what he says. All right, I'm done playing around with you. Let's try to make some money. Give me some read on the market. What should I be looking for? Long or short? Where are we going?
If you're finally ready to stop auditioning for a comedy special and start trading, look at the fact that we are still pinned under the VWAP at 29,330.50 and the 5 minutes macro trend is aggressively bearish. You're currently seeing a minor bounce, but with the buy fraction sitting at a pathetic 28%, this looks more like a liquidity trap than a genuine reversal. If you're desperate for a setup, watch for a clean, high-volume rejection at the 1-minute EMA 200 or the VWAP, which would signal the bears are ready to regain control for another leg down. Otherwise, keep your money in your pocket, unless, of course, your goal is to see how fast you can turn that $400 profit back into a zero.
Let me. Well, if you look at where the prices were above the 1-minute 200 EMA, so when you said rejection, I'm confused. Are you? Oh wait, it timed out. EMA, and so when you said rejection, I got a little bit confused because we're above it. So if it breaks below it, wouldn't it just be a drop from it? And if it bounces off of it, wouldn't that be a long? I think you need to check your logic.
Listen, if you think trading is as
Anytime
simple
he
as
starts out with
bounce
listen.
off EMA means long, drop below means short, you're going to love how fast your account balance can hit zero. While the price is currently holding above the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29239.0, you are conveniently ignoring the VWAP at 29,330.25 and the broader 5 minutes bearish trend that's currently laughing at your bullish optimism. A move below the EMA doesn't just mean a drop. It marks a structural breakdown that invites institutional sell-side pressure, especially when the buy fraction is a pathetic 31%. Keep betting on those simple bounces if you want, but don't act surprised when the market treats your support levels like they're made of wet tissue paper.
And so, guys, he can tell the pressure, right? So if you're curious on the buy pressure, sell pressure, who's winning, he's got that calculations in there. He can monitor that through some code we have in there. And so he's going to be able to tell you that. But, man. Oh. All right, hold on. All right, smarty pants. Then I don't like to take a short right now. So where would you look for a long entry since you're so good?
Since you're so determined to swim against the current, your best bet for a long is waiting for a confirmed breakout and hold above the VWAP at 29330.0, which acts as the major structural barrier preventing a clean bullish run. Anything before that is just you playing tag with a market that hasn't even bothered to show it wants to go up. If you somehow manage to get that replane, your target is the 5 minutes EMA 200 at 29383.0, provided you don't panic and close the trade the moment you see a red candle. Are you going to wait for actual confirmation, or is hope still going to be your primary entry criteria?
So it's not a bad play on that call, right? Because you think about it, right? That would be what I would say here. You get that breach, rear back, breach wick, close above, and then your target would be there. So he's spot on that, right? But it's the beauty of what we have with TradeVision, guys, is he's going to remember everything that you're telling him while you're in that session, right? Now, we're going to eventually extend it so it'll remember for longer. But right now we have it on like a continuation session style where as long as I don't log off, I will trade with him for 10 hours and he's going to remember everything we talked about, right? I think Alex has it set on like a 30-minute timeout. So if you time out or you leave for 30 minutes and come back, right, then it's kind of like a fresh start. So eventually we're going to extend that. When we go live, we might extend that a little further. But, the most important is that he's remembering everything you're doing, saying, advice, all that from that session that you're trading, right? And then we kind of just start fresh with a fresh look. But it cracks me up because when I'll argue with him for hours and hours and then all of a sudden like he'll throw some comment out there like that, that I totally forgot about, like he'll come back and just be like, oh, cool. So you don't want to do that full boarding strategy anymore. And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I said that. So he's going to remember a lot of that stuff within the conversation. So, let's ask him. So if you look at the candles now, it looks like we ended up getting a pullback into the ORB. I'm looking at that. I do like that potential setup that's coming up because if we get a close above that VWAP, that would almost be like a push, then a pull with a confirmation close back above, which would be a good setup, right?
You've finally learned that a push and pull is a real thing, though watching you get excited over a retest of the VWAP at 29,329.75 is like watching someone discover fire for the first time. You're looking for a breakout and hold above
he's
the
an
VWAP,
asshole.
which is the institutional line in the sand. Without it, you're just staring at a wall of resistance. If the candles actually manage to close above that level and hold, you might have the start of a legitimate move, but don't hold your breath while the buy fraction is still hovering at a mediocre 45%. Are you going to wait for the candle to actually close above the VWAP, or are you planning to jump in early so you can add another, oops, I panicked, story to your collection?
Oops, I panicked story to your collection. Oh my god, guys. This dude.
Box of tissues is going to be compulsory when you're trading with NEO and sarcastic.
Oh.
Just to clear your eyes.
Man,
So much.
I think it's going to be more interesting to have the people that are trading with them on sarcastic with the volume up and their like spouses walk by and they're like, who the hell are you arguing with? Like this clanker over here talking shit. Oh my goodness. I could see that with you, Cody. I think Cody's going to be in a full-blown argument with this guy. Oh, like you ain't the boss of me. Hold on, let me.
Subscription cancel. NEO upsetting.
I'm gonna tell him that. Hold on. All right, I'm watching this trade. I'm gonna try to keep this one real serious, but I just need you to watch your tone with me. You ain't my daddy.
My apologies. I'll keep the feedback strictly professional and focused on the chart. Price is currently at 29,336.50,
I want to see if he would adjust.
successfully holding above the VWAP at 29,330.75, which is the exact breakout condition we were waiting for. You are now looking for sustained expansion. If the next few candles can maintain this position above the VWAP, you have the structural confirmation to hold for your target while keeping your stop loss just beneath that VWAP level to protect your realized gains.
So what I was testing there, guys, is he's supposed to adjust, right? Like if you tell him to keep it short, he'll keep it short. If you want to be serious, he'll be serious, right? you don't have to flip always through the personalities. You can say, you know, hey, like, no, I'm serious. Like, give me an entry here. Like, what's this, right? And he's gonna, you see how he pivots, right? And then you can also, you know, come back and say, okay, that was actually good. I got my setup that I'm looking at, but that was a little too serious. I'm cool with a little more sarcasm.
Back to the insults, are we? I'm honestly touched that you missed my winning personality while you were busy watching the price tag drop back below the VWAP like a lead balloon. We're currently sitting at 29,321.94, which is officially back under the VWAP at 29,329.75. So that, safe. Long you were just cradling is currently morphing
Guys,
into
see
a
the
classic
hammers
trap.
here, guys? It's supporting
Keep
it.
riding that long into the abyss if you want, but don't act like you weren't warned when the sell side liquidity starts hunting your stop loss for sport.
Hunting your stop loss for sport.
Oh, good. I think this needs, guys, we need to make it like Friday will be sarcastic Neo only day. Like that way you know what you're getting into. It's Fridays. Oh, guys, any questions? It's already 10:40, man. I know many of you guys have been kind of scalping and kind of going through there. Is everybody staying mostly green today? Put a thumbs up if you guys are green. I know many of you aren't really trading, but good deal. A lot of thumbs, love it. All right. Love it. Anybody stuck in a trade or want me to ask Neo some kind of guidance for you? How we feeling? Good deal. Sweet. Guys, what I'm going to do is I want to drop off of some of the social media stuff here. If you guys want to come in and check out this, again, guys, we're just having fun today, Friday. I know it looks like a bunch of people took a bunch of scalps, which is awesome. Even in the trades, most of the people kind of know what to look for through this. And so, but if you want to check it out, guys, you know, again, go to the website, you know, at nextstepalgo.com. As far as Neo goes, guys, he's going to be fully integrated in our site. So, as we go, we're just not stopping to integrate him. So, giving you a little tutorial through, we are going to, once we're finalized on TradeVision, we're going to revamp our start here. In the start here, you know, you're going to also be able to talk to Neo. He's going to be more, you're not going to have the option for personalities. It'll be professional only. But he's going to guide you to through the site, right? You know, he's going to ask you questions. What are you looking for? Here's our training. Here's our indicators. Here's our sessions, mentor session. You know, anything that he thinks would be valuable, right, for you to use, right? And so we want that as kind of like a way to enter the site and get that guidance, right? And so that's kind of our next step within there. And then, guys, he's at that point he's fully integrated, you know, except for a few other things, you know, minor things that I want to do. He's already integrated, as many of you guys know, but just for the sake of the social medias again, into our training courses. We do have a lot of training courses, including a starter kit if you're brand new. We just put out the ICT. I'm going to work on another one this weekend. I'm a little bit in between, right? If I want to do the CRT, the AMD, or the I'm thinking about just doing like a basic order flow, right? Just how to measure order flow and candle progression kind of thing, right? So you know, those in the mentor group, you guys can message me or make a support ticket if you guys have any advice, or, you know, not advice, but suggestions, right? But Neo's fully integrated already in our training. You're never going to go through the training without having Neo there to support you. All of our training is very book-like. It's not a video that you just play. All of our training is free for everybody who is in the mentor program and the VIP program. Everybody else, they're like $30, guys. You're not paying thousands of dollars for courses. All of our courses have... I'm going to mute him. All of our courses have a lot of visuals, guys. This is it. It's all fully actionable within the pages. And the best part about this is you can literally ask Neo his advice. So Neo's going to be the one reading it.
It assumes the student already knows.
As he's teaching, we're pivoting over to Neo reading a lot of the stuff, you know, just to keep everything in line with that. And so it's been pretty awesome. But if you don't understand something, right, you can ask Neo just like you do in TradeVision. So I can come here and say, hey, I'm just starting this ICT course. I'm not really sure what it means when it says market structure and narrative. What is that?
Great question. Welcome to the course. Think of market structure as the map that shows you the current path the price is traveling, like higher highs for a climb or lower lows for a drop. Narrative is the story behind that movement, which helps you understand why the price is likely to head toward a specific area of interest or liquidity. Together, they help you stop guessing and start trading based on where the market is actually going. Does that clear up the difference between the map and the story for you?
And so he's always going to ask you, you know, a question or a counter question because he wants to make sure you fully understand what he's talking about, right? So, again, you know, all these courses in here, if you're in the training or the VIP or the mentor group, right, they're fully free. All of the courses we do, just because we want to make sure you guys have all of that available. So I will tell you guys the mentor program is getting really close to being full. And so once this gets to 50, we have 4 more applicants that I will take that once I approve you, right, we've had that discussion, then what ends up happening is it'll lock a spot for you. Now, there's some of you on here that I know are approved, and but you have, you know, you need a little time and all that. I'm still willing to work with you guys on that. Just talk to me, you know, if you want to, you know, ask questions about it, you know, just get on. It doesn't cost anything, right, to have that discussion. If you're looking for that guidance, that mentorship, I will tell you the 50 people that get locked into this mentorship program, they all know because I've had this discussion with them. You know, they're under my wing, right? Anything that we create that will help them be successful, be profitable, be consistent, they're just going to get it for free, most likely on that, because I'm not going to, you know, price gouge anything within that, right? I truly am going to take all 50 of these people's success very, very personal, and they know how I am with that. So, you know, if you want to talk about it, you know, because once I get to 50, guys, I'm locking it. I'm not doing more than 50. So, all you got to do is go and register. If you guys know me already, you can either text me if you have my number or email me, nick@nextstepalgo.com. And then for my mentor program, you know, on that note, every single person in my mentor program has my personal cell phone number. So you can text me day, night, whatever. We get a private group chat that we go in. We're talking about things all the time. A lot of private sessions we do. We trade Sunday Asia together. Just a lot of really cool stuff that we do within that. So, you know, if you're interested, check it out, because once those spots fill, right, you know, and people begin to kind of lock in their decisions, it's just going to be a waiting list from there. So the mentorship program also gets extra perks, right? Like I said, that, you know, come here probably in the next 30 minutes or so, they're going to be able to trade with TradeVision on their own. So and then also, you know, if we do get full on the mentor portion, we do have VIP. The biggest question I get lately is, what is the difference? So mentor is mentor, right? You get my personal number, you're in, you know, you're locked into that 50 that we're gonna figure out a way, right, to make it happen for you. As far as the VIP, it's more of a site-wide access, right? So VIP unlocks everything within the site, right? The only thing I think that you have to pay for on VIP would be the trading lab, right, which is $5, because it's a one-time fee and it's a sim, right? I want to have some risk in there, but the everything else, right, you know, future access, all that stuff. So, you know, you guys have seen we built just a ridiculous amount of stuff, right, in a very, very short time, as many of you have seen. And so you know, we're not stopping here, guys. We have so much planned, you know, with tying into automation. You know, Neo's going to eventually trade for people, crypto, you know, futures, options, all kinds of stuff. Like, we have so many plans that even as fast as we're building, we haven't even begin to get to where we want to be, right, as far as that goes. So, you know, that's where the VIP is going to come into. We're not capping that one. You can do as much as you want on that. So, VIP gets all the training courses for free, and they get all of the things, you know, related to NEO. So TradeVision, all that stuff will come with it. So if you're interested, like I said, check it out. And if you have questions, you know, make a support ticket, email me directly, right? Like I said, nick@nextstepalgo.com. So you can also reach me at, if you go into my bio, if you're on TikTok, right, just go into my bio and then you can click on the button that says email. So, because we are a company account on TikTok, verified. And so, you know, when you go into the bio, you can kind of see all that stuff in there. So, but I'm going to drop off of